in data, it takes less and less time to consume a megabyte because devices become better, screens get larger, content get richer, and the speeds get faster. So you can consume more and more and more. We're already in a situation where investments in our network is driven by data, whereas revenue is not yet. So that is a real challenge for the industry, and making sure that investments will continue to flow into creating not just the investment in the actual sites, but also the entire backbone infrastructure. Extremely important. There's no doubt that the telecom industry will be a driver for achieving the digital lifestyle of Malaysia. Internet for all is the heartbeat of DIGI. Has become so close that we've made our mission. We've come from a situation where DIGI went to market a couple of years later than makes itself on 3G with a slogan called broadband done right. So you come out to specific areas with an intention to make sure that where you are, you do it well. Fairly limited number of customers at the time, but now we're well beyond that. Now it's internet for all. Everybody wants this. In a couple of years, everybody will expect to have internet in their pocket, and the coverage expectation that people have today on voice will be an expectation that they have on data in a couple of years from now. DIGI is in a situation now where we have 10 million customers, out of which a little more than 5 million are active mobile internet users. So that's a high number, but that also means that close to 5 million customers are not using mobile internet daily. So that's also a high number. So there's a challenge here that we need to drive that. And if you look at DIGI and what DIGI has contributed over the last many years in Malaysia, I think we can proudly say that we've been able to grow by challenging the competition, by driving competition, and having a mix of value propositions across different types of customers. The high-end customers with the smartphones, the tablets, and the new customers that want to start out using data by having a 1 ringgit a day type of approach, where you start getting used to and familiar with using mobile data. We'll continue to do so. But this is, as I said, a huge challenge for the industry, and in order for us to prepare ourselves to contribute to Malaysia's growth and to succeed as a company, we have embarked, as Dato said before, on a comprehensive transformation of the company. We have been fairly successful over the last couple of years, but we believe that a transformation is necessary. You may have seen our ads on the Tomorrow Network. Having a Tomorrow Network approach basically for us means that we're taking every single electronic part of our network, swapping it out with new, modern, LTE-ready equipment that will allow us to roll out LTE when spectrum is made available. And also I'd like to say here that sort of LTE is a new technology for Malaysia, but also a technology where Telenor has the opportunity to leverage capabilities and experience out of Scandinavia, where we launched LTE first at the end of 2010 and have launched lately also in Denmark and Norway. We're also, as you may know, working closely with Celcom in sharing networks in order to allow the intense capex investments that are necessary to drive this over the coming years, particularly in the backbone infrastructure. And doing modernization of our IT and infrastructure in order to get to market faster, but also being able to build and charge and measure and control different types of data into different times of day and different devices and usage. So very critical. And then, as I said before, having 10 million customers that are, out of which 5 million are using it today, means that this is not just a change for us as a company, it's also a change for the customers. And that means that it's a change for our channels. It's one thing to sell SIM cards and voice, as they've done for many years. Now they need to understand, translate, and talk to customers about how they use data. And that's also a transformation that we are taking seriously. All in all, I would say this is an important important transformation for DIGI and for the country, as Dato Ali said before. We are also supporting local content in our Challenge for Change, which is a competition across all universities in Malaysia, seeing participation from most or all universities in how they can optimize and use IT technology to create value for underserved communities in Malaysia. That was the theme this year. We are continuing to develop that going forward. The WOW Awards is our way of celebrating what we call ordinary Malaysians, extraordinary creativity. It's actually a very exciting event, and I would encourage you to follow that in the coming months, where you see real Malaysians actually leveraging internet opportunity beyond what most people would have imagined. So I'm really interested. I'll just end by saying that we should remember that this is an area where we can do a lot ourselves. We can also learn from outside other countries, and DIGI will be proud and be honored to contribute that going forward. It's also an area where it's important to set the right foundation, which I believe SKMM and PEMANDU is helping to do, where real investments can be made by companies with strong capabilities to support this for the nation. But it's also an area where the government can act as sophisticated buyers and help enable this, lead this by the way they allow interaction with citizens. So all in all, DIGI is eager to play its part and look forward to the development. Thank you.
I've been invited today to share with you some perspectives of SMEs in Malaysia. And as our Dato moderator has mentioned, SMEs are a key growth engine in any economy, and Malaysia is no different. First of all, let me just get the definition out of the way, because in every country, the definition of SMEs are different. So for Malaysia, an SME is a firm that has less than 25 million ringgit Malaysia turnover, or in USD it is 7.8 million. I didn't do the calculations in euro, which I should have. And the number of workers is 150 or less. It is an either-or. So if you fulfill either or of the conditions, you would be an SME. For the services sector, those in ICT, the cap is ringgit Malaysia 5 million or 1.6 USD and 50 workers. Yeah, or 50 workers. So if you fulfill any of those, you would be considered an SME. As with other economies around the world, SMEs form a substantial portion of the business establishments. And in Malaysia, based on the 2005 survey, there are 548,000 SMEs, of which 78% are micro. Yeah? So we are 99.2 of the small guys, so we're essentially everybody. So this 99.2% of business establishments contribute 32% to GDP. They also contribute 59% to employment and 19% to exports. Being mindful that 78% of SMEs are micro, this is quite a significant contribution by the SMEs. Nonetheless, we feel it's not good enough. We would like to see 50%. So now that you have a rough idea of what SMEs are like in Malaysia, let me just go into the next portion, which is how would SMEs benefit from initiatives such as the communication content infrastructure. For SMEs, they can benefit as a user. If you look around a lot of reports on SMEs, while in Malaysia business formation is robust, we find that the business formation is lower than high-income economies. And we also find that SMEs in Malaysia do not have as high a productivity as we would like to see. Hence, this is where I think SMEs in Malaysia are a very good potential as users of technology. and the CCI initiatives and so on. So to me, if you look at the CCI initiatives, how the SMEs can benefit from this is they can use whatever the tools or the facilities or the outcomes desired to increase their own productivity, their efficiency, and to improve their market access and visibility. We also feel that in Malaysia, SMEs would be a very good potential users of the e-commerce platform, because they would be the most likely entities that will benefit from this, as this would lower their cost of doing business. We also hope that SMEs will continue to improve the adoption of ICT and so on, to also ensure that they are able to compete. The other way that we feel that SMEs can benefit from this initiative essentially is as suppliers. Now, for SMEs, every time there is an announcement of an ETP or EPP, these are things that are something that they look forward to, in the sense that this presents to SMEs business opportunities, because we do have a lot of capable SMEs who could become suppliers to MNCs, or who could even be the business taking up these new businesses offered by the initiatives. Let me just share with you, in terms of how SME Corp, as a developmental agency for SMEs, how do we help SMEs take advantage, both as user and also as a supplier. For users, to encourage SMEs to partake in all these initiatives, we work together with PEMANDU and all the other government agencies to promote to them the benefits of being a user, adopting technologies, getting to be aware of the business opportunities, and so on. On the other hand, we look at SMEs as suppliers. Now, this is something SME Corp we do a lot of. We handle a lot of business linkages, because for the SMEs, while they will take all the necessary steps to improve themselves and so on, the burning issue is always market access. How do I get access to market? I can be good, but where's the market? Where's the customer? So before you scale up or before you invest, you want to know where your market is. So SME Corp, as an agency that plays a major role in SME development, we do carry out a lot of capacity building programs. Well, other than training and so on, we also have many tools that we use for rating SMEs. I'm sure many of you in the room have heard about SCORE, which is a tool that we use to evaluate SMEs, and we also have a tool that evaluates innovative SMEs. Now, why do we have these tools? Essentially, these tools help us to distinguish SMEs that are capable and those that really need a lot of help before they become more competitive or able to become good suppliers. Just an example, we have been working closely. There was a mention of a company in Malaysia that supplies the wingtips to the A380. Well, they started as an SME. Now, we are conscious that this is one great example, but there are many others, and there are SMEs. We have worked using SCORE and InnoCert as a tool that will separate who would be a good supplier and those who are maybe not so good. So we have worked with a lot of the MNCs, and we have worked with Boeing, we have worked with BAE Systems, and most recently we have worked with Malaysian Transport, MRT. Yeah? So these are all efforts that we have done in order to link SMEs to the business opportunities. So our hope is that the CCI initiatives will also be something that SMEs will be able to gain from. And I think, as with all initiatives that are put out by the government, we will work hand in hand with PEMANDU, MCMC, to to ensure that the SMEs